Okay, so we're here with Jen and Henry from the band Aloud, who will be playing their 10th anniversary show this Thursday night at Great Scott, right down the street.
Indeed.
We're hanging out right here at the in-house. Thanks for chatting with us a little bit, guys.
Oh, no problem, man.
So you guys have made it 10 years. 10 years in the Boston music scene.
10 years.
Yeah. How does that feel?
I don't know.
Two questions. How? Why?
You know, it's one of those things you don't think about, and we actually just kind of stumbled on the fact that it was 10 years. We just happened to be booking a show around that time, and then...
And it happened to be Great Scott, and happened,
You know, all these things just kind of just were going on independently of this, and then we're like, oh, I guess it's been 10 years. Maybe we should, like, say something.
People like round numbers.
Round numbers are good.
Yeah.
So it's not something you really, like, think about, but it doesn't seem that long, and then when you think about everything and you look at a bunch of footage like we've had to do
Right.
the last couple of weeks for this thing we're doing, you know, and you're like, wow, it has been a while.
Yeah.
You know, but somehow some things don't change, right? Like, it's like, I'm still wearing my red leather jacket, and it's
yeah.
like 2004, like,
Still rocking it.
Little things like that, you know.
It's good.
Well, in a big way, too, it's like you still kind of feel like you're still trying to make sense of everything and not fuck up. And, you know,
You guys
not
are
ripped off by Spotify or whatever.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So your last full-length album was released in 2010 called Exile.
Yeah.
That is an enormous album on both, I think, stylistically, musically, and it seemed to be a pretty enormous time for you guys.
Thanks, man.
As a
Cheers.
band.
Yeah.
So, want to tell us a little bit about that album?
It's kind of a. It sounds like an introspective album, and it sounds like a bummer, but it was probably the most fun I've ever had working on a record.
It was also a really different experience. So it was just like that album came out of us no longer having like a regular bass player and drummer. So we didn't go into the record as a full band. Like Henry and I made that record between the two of us and our producer Dan and a few friends who came in and played some parts.
And it was like literally over a year, like
just kind of do it on weekends, like when we had time, that sort of thing. Like
I think it was maybe like 5 months until we were like, I think this is like turning into a record sort of thing. We were just like going in to record and like whatever.
It was supposed to be like a single, then it was going to be an EP, and then we were like, well, it's almost a record.
Yeah.
Just make a record.
Just keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, but it was sort of a nice opportunity since it was like me and Jen taking total control of the ship for the most part.
Yeah.
We always wanted to do an album like that, and it was like, well, now we don't have to worry about placating someone. Like, all right, well, here's your bass part, and not that it was or wasn't a problem before, but you didn't have to worry about that.
Right.
And if something didn't even need a guitar or something like that, you could just do it.
Yep.
Easier for me, man. I don't got to put it on there.
Exactly. Nice. So you guys got married about around the time that the album came out, correct?
Just a little before. It was
before?
like May, and we released the album in October.
Yeah.
No, we got. Oh wait, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Never
You gotta remember your anniversary.
She doesn't even remember our anniversary.
That's true, but I do know that it was May because my birthday is in May.
So was that kind of like a turning point for you guys, like musically and
Well,
marriage?
Stuff,
No, not at all.
No, as a band,
Well, I think it not really, but just more in the sense of like, okay, well, I guess now it's extra hour shift at this point, right? Like, nothing's happening to us, so we're gonna stay in this band, so whatever. But I mean, you know how it directly affected the album?
How?
We used our wedding money to finance part of the
album.
Yeah. So there you
That's
go.
brilliant.
It was wedding money and Kickstarter money.
Yeah,
that we used
exactly.
for the tour and the record. So
That's brilliant.
that was handy.
Thanks, Mom.
That's awesome. So, what has kept you guys in Boston, in this town over the past 10 years?
Oh, the snow.
I've still been shoving myself out. I don't know what I'm here today. I don't know. every now and again I wonder if we should move, and then we go on tour. And
Keep pulling me back in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always kind of happy to get home after, in the sense that I don't think I could stay anywhere else for very long. New York kind of drives me mad, and San Francisco is awesome, but it's way too expensive. And LA
I think it's just the music here. Like, I mean, there's a lot of great music that we've found everywhere else, but I kind of feel this has the highest concentration of like awesome, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And you know,
we've just grown accustomed to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of lazy.
Hey, lazy, comfortable. It's all good. So you guys live in JP, correct?
Yes.
In Jamaica Plain.
We do.
Town has kind of become a kind of an art, one of the art centers of Boston.
Yeah.
That's a cool place.
Yeah. What are some of the places you frequent around JP?
The Dogwood, the Milky Way. Been to Forest Hills Tea Station.
We go a lot to the library. Actually.
Oh, right.
There and
I gotta mention El Oriental, Cuban food.
Oh yeah.
Very awesome.
or the Haven. The Haven's the only like Scottish
Haven.
pub
Yeah,
in Boston.
that's
That place is
fairly new and
so fantastic.
pretty awesome, huh?
There's a lot of really great like restaurants and bars.
Oh, Tres Gatos, the record store slash
actually,
tapas
that's my
bar.
favorite place. So
The best combination ever.
It's awesome because you can like have this great food and then go around back, even with your drink, and go look through records.
That's
and
awesome.
it's a bookstore too, so it's just like everything that is wonderful about life in one place.
And again, laziness. I don't have to go too far.
So an interesting article was posted by local musician Christian McNeil, and it was all over Facebook today. It was dealt with the lack of royalties paid to artists from the streaming sites like Spotify. What's your approach to selling your music?
You know, the way we sell the most music is going on tour.
Yeah.
That is really the best thing. You know, there was all this stuff today. You know, you mentioned the Spotify thing. There was all this stuff about the rethink music thing and using the internet to like expand your audience. And I just laugh at that every time because, like, yes, but if you don't get them to even want to notice you by going out playing shows in the first place, you can't keep connected to anybody. Who's going to follow you on Twitter just cause? Like, it's just.
And like
it's not everybody can be a personality like on Twitter. Like I write music. That's how I connect to people. That's how I do it.
It takes me days to figure funny things out on Twitter.
You know, I'm not like the cool high school kid on Twitter. Like that's just not the way it is. You
We'll
know?
say that's the cool guy on Twitter over there.
That's it. That's him.
So I mean, I still think like touring is like the thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, like the one sort of constant that I found is that people just want to make a connection with the music. And I mean, the short of it is you have to make them give a shit enough to give you $10 or pay cover for a show, because like what we do is it's silly. You know, like we play music. You know what I mean? Like,
useless now.
you know, I love it, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. But you got to give people a reason to part with their money for bullshit, basically. You know, I don't know if that's a dim view, but
No, bullshit is pretty much essential to people's life. I'm not even.
It's true.
Like, you need that.
Yeah,
you can't be serious all the
how
time.
many people go out there and watch like these garbage television shows and
Right.
you know, you guys have a little more content than that, I would say.
Yeah, I would
a
like
little
to
more
think
than
so.
a little more than you know, whatever Jersey Shore or whatever show. Sorry, I had to say that word. All right, so given your pretty extensive time, you know, out on the road, traveling the entire country, really, what would you say are some of your favorite artist-friendly, you know, cities?
Chicago.
Chicago's awesome.
Chicago is fantastic.
I dig Raleigh.
Yeah, North Carolina has a pretty cool music scene, actually.
Yeah, Salt Lake City was
Salt Lake City,
awesome.
I actually missed the other day. I was thinking about a few of our friends there. I was like, man, I haven't seen those cats in a long time.
Yeah.
Some of those bands.
South by is, you know, like Austin, it's kind of a clusterfuck, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
It can be okay.
Yeah.
I think the first time we went was a lot better just because it was the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening, and like all these people out. And for all the same reasons I liked it the first year, I didn't like it the second year so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Little Rock is awesome.
Little Rock.
Little Rock's cool. There's a lot of good bands there too. Yeah.
And we had a really oddly awesome show in Pensacola, Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of all places.
Yeah, it had all the signs of being horrible. Like we walked in and it was like somebody had put in the jukebox like 3 Nickelback songs, 3.
We'd already decided it was gonna be a bad night.
I'm like, oh great. And then this guy, he puts on Dylan.
Nice.
And then we started talking about it. And he gives us money, but it's like on the condition that like we play more Dylan, and it has to be like obscure, deep cut Dylan. So we wound up owning the jukebox for like 3 hours, and then we played the show, and it was great. And
nice.
People were there, but then between sets, they turned the jukebox on, and it'd be more Dylan.
Nice. It's great. Great intro music right there.
It's good fun, man. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys said that you're going to be actually heading back out on the road.
We are, yeah.
Shortly. How's that going about?
Well, it's just started, all the planning for
Okay.
that. So the route is sort of picked out initially, and it will hopefully be mid-September to early October, about 4 weeks. And we'll be writing in the meantime and playing some shows around here. But the tours basically go to like road test all the new material.
Nice.
And see how that fares.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll record either at the end of the year or early next, something like that. I mean, all sort of vague stuff, but
yeah,
you know, we're trying to take it a little
very mysterious.
This year, you know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So you guys, you know, in lieu of your 10th anniversary show, you released a new song today, correct?
Yes.
We did,
yeah, we recorded that. When did we do it? Like last August?
Yes.
Yeah, it was over at Mad Oak. It was part of the Berkeley had this program called Banded, and it was us and like Michael J. Epstein and a bunch of other people, and they basically documented like on camera like the beginning of us like writing a song to arranging it with the band and figuring out the studio and stuff with the intent
mixing.
And the intent was, as part of their like sort of online curriculum for like kids that can't get like music education in schools, for example.
Right.
And the whole idea was like to get like these. I think it was like 6 bands, including us, and they're putting the documentary together to show you like this is how this group of people write songs, and this is how these guys do it. It's all wildly different.
Different versions.
Break down like the sort of mystery of like, yes, you can do this.
Yeah.
If you have talent.
Yeah.
You too one day will be on Spotify.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
There's that word again. Great, guys. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us, and we really appreciate it. And you guys have a great show on Thursday, and we'll be looking forward to seeing
Well, we
you
can
guys
only try,
That's right. Take care.
Great, thanks.